Inspire. I'm out here with JBrooksTV, and yeah. So what Live to Aspire is, it's a way of believing. It's a way of incorporating my dreams with your dreams, showing you that there's actually a way to reach them. And by including you in my journey, I hope to inspire you to reach your own dreams and start your own journey. I have a clothing line and a jewelry line, and I have a love for fashion. It's a new way of incorporating fashion into your lives, but at the same time making my dream accessible to you so that you can in turn have your own dreams. Live to Aspire.
Be this to me, it would probably be a kiss to me.
So this past summer I went to Sicily for a month and a half. Well, no, it was a month and a week basically. I went for family, you know, my grandparents, my grandma wasn't really feeling well, so we went down I was there with my mom and my brother. And it started off really rough because I was like, okay, I'm gonna be gone from everything I know. I'm not gonna be going to church because they don't really have great churches down there. I'm not gonna have anybody that I know, and I purposely, I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna talk to anybody. I'm just gonna separate myself and take this time to be with my family, to be with God on my own, and just really take the time out. So the first 2 weeks I was down there, it was crazy. I was like, what am I into right now? I was looking at all the youth that were down there, and they were just like completely lost. So I was in a small town. It probably had around 21,000 people. And so we were down there, and I was just looking at the state of like people, the way, how cold they are, the way they react to you sometimes. And I was like, oh my gosh, why did I come here? Why am I here, God? Like, what am I supposed to be learning from this? So he's like, basically, like, take in your experiences. And I'm like, so I totally changed my perspective. I started looking at things in a different way, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So while I was down there, there's a lady that lives in our courtyard, and she has her family there. She's been a family friend of my mom's for a long time. She was seeing me in the courtyard, you know, not really doing much because a lot of my family were either working and some of my friends were working, so I didn't really have much to do, no internet access, literally secluded and separated. So I was there and I was listening to what's going on in my grandma's house, about everything they're talking, and I was like, I'm not going to deal with this, so I went outside. And I was just sitting there, and she would see that I was like bored or upset of like things that were going on. She's like, Josie, just come in. And she would just sit me down, we'd have coffee or whatever, just sit down and talk. And I felt like she was the only person that I could talk to there. So I would spend time with her, you know. She'd just be like, Josie, like, don't get caught up in the things that are going on, you know. Your mom hasn't been here for like 6 years, and you know, there's things that she needs to talk about with her family. You know, I'm like a sponge, like I soak in situations and I try to help people. And I just felt so helpless trying to talk to them, not being able to say anything in situations. She would sit down with me and she started like saying, like just as she was talking, she'd just say scriptures to me. And I'm like, oh, she didn't know anything about me at the time. And, you know, I was just taking it in. She was just talking, you know. My daughter, when she goes to university, you know, I just pray that Jesus is with her because I can't be with her. I can't talk to her. I can't be around her all the time in every situation. So I just pray for her. She's like, you know, us as parents, we can't do much. Like, you know, we can cover them while we're here, but, you know, when they're out, I just tell Jesus he can keep her. You know, I was listening to her conversations and I was just seeing the way that she acts. And she had these glossy eyes that I've met other people with these eyes, and I'm like, there's something different about this lady. So one day I was talking to her and I asked her a question. I asked her, Rosetta, what would you do if you could do any career in the world? What would you do? And she's like, that's an interesting question. She's like, I would specialize myself in every kind of like doctor field. And I'd go to like a third world country and I'd try to cure all the people that were there. And I wouldn't never ask for money. And in particular, I would go with the older people because, you know, it's their last stretch of life and I just want to show that there's somebody that cares. And I was like, wow, that's kind of like what I want to do, but for you and not as a doctor. So after we had that conversation, probably the next day, I was in her house and we were just having a conversation, and she turns to me and she picks up my journal that I gave her a recipe that probably half an hour before that. she picks it up, and I was like, oh, you like, there's nothing written in there, you know, you can't understand it, it's all in English anyways. And she's like, oh my gosh, I picked up your journal. So she puts it down, and I'm like, don't worry, you know, that's just my journal that, you know, when I read the Bible, do my devotions, I, you know, take notes and study it. And she's like, literally the whole atmosphere changed. And she's like, Josie, you read the Bible? I'm so proud of you. And I was like, wow. She's like, I've never met a young lady or a young person speak about God like you do. Because earlier we were exchanging, I like this parable and I like this one. And we were just going back and forth. She's like, Josie, you know, you're such a gem. Like, there's not a lot of people that are out there that are like you. And I was there, and it was so Holy Spirit. I just started crying. The atmosphere changed again. She's like, Josie, you know when 2 or more people are gathered together that God is here? You know that God is here in every situation that you're going through with your grandma, with your mom, and everything? He's here with me. He's here with us right now. And I was like, wow. On top of the fact that she's saying this in Italian, so it's like crazy. It's so beautiful. She turns to me and she says, you know, Josie, God has a husband ready for you because you don't care about yourself. You just care about other people. And I was like, oh my gosh, this lady is just speaking into my life. I was like, this is so beautiful. And I was just crying and just taking it in. I turned to her and I say, Rosetta, you know, I've met other people with eyes like you do, and like they just gloss, they just shine with like such beauty and such grace. And I was like, I truly believe that that's God's love just shining through your life. And she was like, oh my gosh, Josie, thank you. So with this trip being over, just as I was coming back and through everything that was happening, I just really realized that when you think that God's not going to be in your situation, He's actually right there sitting beside you and helping you along the way. That's the reason why I went to Italy. I went to Italy to sit down with this lady to show me how, like, she didn't have a job. She got laid off, both her and her husband. And she would drive me. She'd be like, okay, Josie, let's go to the beach. Okay, Josie, let's do this. Let's do that. And she'd just take me out. She'd continue to give. She brought me to, like, she had a piece of land and she would cultivate vegetables and stuff. She'd just give it to me. Give it to your family. So the beauty of giving, even though you don't have that right now, it's just like, it's so beautiful. It was like God was like hugging me throughout the whole trip. It was so fun. And that was the reason why I went down. So throughout everything, she helped me so much. When I came back, like, my mind was just clear. I knew exactly what I needed to do. I knew that throughout everything that was happening there, I was just seeing, you know, all the youth that were lost. And I was like, this is exactly what I need to be doing. Like, it just hurt me so much to see all these youth just being lost and going up, 13-year-olds going up to bar and just getting shots. And I was like, no, something needs to be done about this. You know, I'm just gonna say that when you think that God isn't there, He actually is, and He's holding on to you. Like, He's holding your hand through every situation, and it's a beautiful thing.
Holding me up like a kickstand. I'm powerless without His.
Hey guys, it's Josie La Corte of Live to Inspire. We're out here in Markham today. It's such a beautiful day. It's sunning outside. I know you don't think that's a word, but it is. We're just here. We just shot a video of the beauty of God's love in your life and in my life. I went to a trip to Italy and I experienced a love like no other, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. And yeah. That is cute. Very.